Good afternoon, beautiful people. I'm getting my screen shared and we will start week 2 of Sanity Restored, creating a bomb ass schedule. While I am loading my screen, I want you guys to tell me in the chat what was your biggest struggle this week as an ADHD parent. What do you have for me? My biggest struggle this week as an ADHD parent is that my son's teacher is an ADHD parent. So I thought that was a super win, and I still do. But because he needs to get his wiggles out, she has moved him to sit at a table in the back independently while working on reading and math. And I asked him how that was going, and he told me that it was helpful, but it was lonely. And so it absolutely broke my mommy heart. So that is my ADHD parenting week. So let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. This week we are creating a bomb ass schedule because this is the number one thing that you can do for your child. Not kidding. I just left a group earlier. Excuse me. I left a group earlier where we were discussing, and I had so many parents tell me that June was chaotic, July was off the charts, and August was completely unhinged. But every parent in there told me as soon as their child went back into their school schedule, they had their calm, sweet angel back. So when I tell you that this is the foundation of your ADHD parenting, this is the most important thing you will do to get your sanity back. You will create a schedule. Their little brains are working all the time, constantly searching for a roadmap of what they're supposed to be doing. So when they have this consistent schedule, there's no questions about it. They have that. They don't have to have the transition tantrums because they already knew what was expected. It's just going to make your life easier all the way around. Trust me on this. So this is, again, the secret sauce. Why scheduling is a game changer. ADHD brains thrive on structure, but actually hate their inflexibility of it all. So, it's a balance. Predictability reduces anxiety for me and my child, but again, also helps him with those tantrums, helps kids develop their executive functioning skills, which we all know is just a fancy term for our life skills, and the holy grail, less tantrums, less chaos. I promise you will thank me later. It's more than just time slots. When I say you need a schedule, I mean like the whole day. When you have a child who your child's teacher says, "Man, Jimmy does so well in class. I'm sorry to hear that you're having this trouble at home." It's because your child's day is mapped out from 7:30 to 3:30 with not a lot of variations in there. They might go to art one day and music the next. They might play on the big playground today and the little playground tomorrow, but they know what is expected of them for a solid 8 hours, right? So, morning routines will help you get out the door on time. Definite win. After school time, let your child get that wind down time. My son needs some tech time before we move on to our homework and the physical activity that I incorporate into his afternoon and evening time. Have a homework routine, and bedtime routine is the win. For so long, my son's pediatrician told me, he kept asking me every time we went for our follow-up, our pediatrician, our yearly physical, he would say, "How's he sleep?" And I was like, "Man, why do you keep asking me that?" And he said, because typically children with ADHD have trouble with bedtime. And I thought, not over here, dude. Like, we're both usually asleep by 8:30. And he said, he asked me about our day, and I told him the rundown of homework, running outside as much as possible. I actually have like a game room obstacle course set up in my downstairs playroom. so that he can get that out if it's raining or if it's cold out. And then, we do dinner, bath time, game time, story time, bedtime. And that has been our situation for about 6.5, 7 of the 9 years that I've been parenting. And he told me the reason you probably don't have sleep struggles like many others is because you have a solid routine. So I promise you'll thank me later. So you have the option. We live in 2024. Everything is technology, based. Everything is out there that can help you. You do not have to use it. I know that, we mostly want our kids off screens, and I hear that. So visual schedules is cool because your child can see what they need to be doing. And if you let them help in creating this schedule, you will be amazed by how much more independence you will see, how much more confidence and accountability on their part. You will see them get really excited because they help create it and they have to say so in their lives. I feel like children, 95% of their day are just drugged through life, doing what people are telling them to do. But this actually helps them feel like they are in charge. So get them involved with the visual schedules. Color coded calendars are also cool. The tech part or not, you can also just use like an old school visual timer. Let them know. I will say this, that one of the executive functions that is hijacked by ADHD is time blindness. So even though they do not have a sense of time, these visual schedules, the visual timers will let them know, okay, when this little cloud countdown gets over, my time is up. Or even just seeing it run down on a clock. My son can go, okay, I have 5 minutes. Okay, I've got 3 minutes. And though he may not know what that means, but he's like mentally preparing himself. So, timers, apps, alarms. I have an alarm to wake myself up in the morning, to wake my son up in the morning, to start my classes on time, to pick up my son on time. I have all the timers, okay? Strongly recommend it. And last but not least is the reward system. And you will learn this later as an ADHD parent, but typical motivators such as fear, discipline, or restrictions, not that effective with your child or my child. But what does work is the motivation for reward, whatever they are hyper focused on. So, if your child can complete the visual schedule on their own, at the end of the week, you might offer them a prize or a reward. It can be something that they don't get often, such as a sweet treat. They can pick the movie for family night. They can pick the game. For my son, it is usually and has been for like 6 years money for Roblox or Fortnite or whatever, some gadget that he needs money for to make his character better. And it works. So, whatever works for you and yours. Do not sabotage yourselves. Pitfalls. I'm a little OCD. I can thank my dad for that, who has ADHD and the perfectionism aspect and the OCD aspect of ADHD. So, I used to be very rigid in sticking to the schedule, having a schedule, and feeling like we had to do it. But I realized that by me sticking to my routine and forcing it down our throats, that it was actually causing a lack of the bonding and the nurture time that I was actually trying to get out of scheduling, like the game time before bed. Because, like, we got to do it right now. We really don't. I mean, bad time needs to be like 6:45 ish to 7:15 ish, right? You don't need it 6:41, and then we're going to be out at 6:42 or 6:52. We're not doing that to ourselves. There's no reason to sabotage ourselves. Overscheduling. This is my problem, wildly enough, on vacations. There's so much that I want to do and see, and my son needs chill time. He needs downtime. He will tell me, Mom, I need a tech break. And so on vacations, he is often overstimulated, he's exhausted. Even if we're sticking to our same morning and sleep schedule, which we try to do, he's just overwhelmed, right? I've put too much on him and he's not vibing with it, right? Lastly, neglecting downtime. This is going hand in hand with the overscheduling. Even superheroes need rest, especially ADHD children and ADHD parents. As I said, for like the last 2.5 weeks, we have both been going to bed at 8:30 with not a lot of problems. So I know I'm moving through this at super speed, but the hardest part of the routine aspect in creating your schedule is not actually creating it, it's sticking to it, right? It is you sticking to it. So this week's homework is you are going to create a weekly schedule for your morning, after school, homework if you need to throw that in there separately, and bedtime, evening routine. Get everything that you need in there, but leave some wiggle room, okay? Don't sabotage yourself. Implement it. You're going to start using it and track how it goes. Track what is working and track what is not. Journal your experiences. Write down how you felt, how you what you implemented, maybe do one small change per day and keep track of that and see how that goes. What surprised you and what did not? When I left the group earlier today, um, when I had expressed to the mom who told me that her daughter was absolutely freaking unhinged in August, but now September she's got her little sweet angel back, I believe is how she phrased it. She was like, "Man, I can't believe I missed that. I can't believe that we were just winging it, all summer for 90 days, and August was the culmination of that, right?" And then in less than a week, she was like, "Life went back to normal, you know? Maybe keep your schedule year round." Also, this week, I'm going to be emailing you guys a video from Dr. Gonzalez. She has some amazing, insightful, and easy to understand tips for ADHD parenting about why we need to parent the way we need to parent, and some things that will work for you, and some traditional parenting methods that will not. So, get ready for that. You guys have this so much. Remember, progress, not perfection. Celebrate the small wins, every single one of them. If you are able to stick to your routine for half a day, that is still a win. That is still a win. And that leaves wiggle room for 60% tomorrow. You are not alone. We are all doing this. I am here to help. I have not mastered ADHD parenting, but the routine part, girl, I got you. So if you need help, reach out for that and let me know how it goes. And next week, we will be covering emotional control. Yes, the biggies. We're going to teach our kids self regulation and letting them know that what their emotions are, labeling them so that whenever they pop up, they will be able to recognize it, understand what they need to do, and that is a big one. Thank you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so blown away by the homework assignments that you guys have been emailing me. If you are watching this and you're like, "Girl, I need in on this," I'll leave the link to the class, to the cohort, in the comments on this video so that you can get in on the October 1st class that is coming up. I'm so humbled, like real stuff. I am so glad to be here. I have been doing this diligently for 6.5 years now, and to be sharing it with other people and hearing feedback like, "Girl, this is so helpful. You're helping me get my life back." Whew, that's the reason I'm here. Thank you guys. I can't wait to see your responses and your schedules.